Well, welcome to Wisdom and Knowledge. I am your host, Dr. Terry Warren, and I am so excited today to have a very special guest from the Philippines, and his name is Willem Tux. And Willem, you are an amazing man who has developed some incredible products. But what I loved most is you said something to me. You said, God gave me these ideas.
Yes, precisely. By the way, good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for having me here. It's an honor. It's a privilege, actually. Yeah.
So why don't you tell the audience out there a little bit about who you are and what you do, because you're a scientist.
Yes.
And not only have you developed incredible products, which we're going to talk about one specifically today, but you've developed a multitude of products, not only for the body, but for the environment.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your background and what you've developed.
Yeah, okay. I'm Willem Tux Lavarias. I'm from the Philippines, and I'm into research for more than 20 years. So I love research. That's my passion. And through that, I sense that I feel that I can do something. Even I'm not rich, even I'm not, scholars, but my passion is research. So one of the problems is that this issue for food, agricultural. So when you create plant fruits, rice, or everything concerns the agricultural products, you cannot do it without applications of tremendous amount of chemicals. We're talking of fungicide to control the plant disease. We're talking of herbicides that are poisoning the soil so that the nutrients will be targeting only specifically for the particular plant. That's herbicide. And number 3, insecticide. These 3 chemicals are the ones major problem why we have so many uncontrolled health issues right now. I mean, like the so much problems of cancers. It's rampant globally, so uncontrollably. So I've researched, I studied, and evaluate the reasons. The reason is that these plants, fruits, vegetables that we're taking are bombarded with these chemicals. So no one dares to get the proper natural way of applications. So I know the background. I've searched, and then I discovered that some oils, they have these essential fatty acids or molecules that can be used for a certain problem, because this is God created this world, and of course, He created also the solutions.
Yes.
So that's I believe that my product is 100% natural. This product could compete with the best scientists in the global industry. Because, for instance, how can you control the disease without using chemicals? Precisely, number 1, I've searched that there are ways. Like, if you check essential oils, you can get oleic acid, which is good for controlling disease, lauric acid, which is a natural antibody, which is considered the natural antibiotics. But the problem there, that why they could not use this is because they are not exposed, they are closed. So you cannot use this. If you use for applications, plants, fruits will die. They call it phytotoxicity. So my research is how to do it without damaging the crops. So the issue there, scientists from Japan, which I'm following his works, but still he dies, but no successful in his research. So I invented these machines that capable to evaporate the oil under within below 700 degrees centigrade. Because when you reach, before you evaporate the oil, you could produce, you need to have at least 2,000 minimum degrees of centigrade to evaporate the oil. But the molecules are damaged. So my technology is just below 700. I will eliminate the surface. You know, the film, the oil has surface tension, or the oil film. I could evaporate that 7%, 12%, 17% without any damaging the structure. So what I did, I used the cooking oil. Before, they're using the cooking oil used for biodiesel. I can do that, but that's generic. It's not my passion. If it's already generic, I don't waste time researching, studying for this particular technology. What I did, instead of selling for the as biodiesel, which is cost is very minimal, I'd like to have solutions for the agricultural chemical inputs to produce organic farming or organic pesticide. You know, after processing this oil can kill, this waste cooking oil can kill now termites or other insecticides without any chemicals. The only mode of action is just asphyxia. Because this oil is so tiny, no surface tension, it will now penetrate in the spiracles. So the insects dies in few seconds without any chemicals. The mode of action is just asphyxia. So that is, I believe I am the first in the industry to do that. Number two, once you do that, you will be able to expose the essential elements of the oil. Like if I want capric acid, if I want lauric acid, if I want oleic acid, if I want oleic or alpha aliphalic acid, these are essential oils. But look, they cannot produce good quality or absorption and penetration. But using my process, it could now. So another one, this is, I'm expert in the chemical reactions. I know how to balance between the non-polar molecules and the polar molecules, what particular additives or enzymes that I'm going to add to make a reactions to achieve my desired chemical reactions. So with this process, I was able to make the additives that could, once it passes with my reactors, the water, I could produce H2, molecular hydrogen. This is essential for the body. This is for great for our system, particularly the blood-brain barriers. That's the issue in our system. So this H2, I could practically diffuse in the oil, so that produces super clean. You know, the issue of climate change. Climate change, the pollutants, you see, we inhale particulates, we adopt carbon dioxide, sulfur, carbon monoxide. These are all carcinogenics. And this is the issue why we have cancers. I was able to envelop the oil by adding the H2, the molecular hydrogen, so that the heat inside the engine will be neutralized and controlled. This is better than made by the best scientists in the oil industries, because this oil envelope can resist. How many miles when you change oil for your car, for fully synthetic? May I ask you, Doc?
I do it about every 5,000 miles.
That's a fully synthetic. And then you will realize after a few months, after changing the oil and the filter, you'll see your consumption is going bigger and bigger, because precisely the gunk.
Okay.
That's the issue. So that's my study. I study how to control, neutralize this gunk. And that is the envelope. You have to protect the essential elements. You put the hydrogen of in the oil, so that once the engine oil, the friction controls, no delayed oxidation, no gunk, I can give you 12,000 miles before you change oil. And I can bet once you change oil, you will see no gunk, no sticky oil. Because the oil, they have the envelope now to resist. So you will have practically enjoy 10 to 12% daily consumption.
So two of the main things that you developed was,
Yes.
one is a product that can replace the need for insecticides, pesticides,
Fungicide,
and fungicides,
herbicide.
and be able to protect the crops and at the same time eliminate the chemicals and all of
Inputs,
that
yes.
that are going into the body.
Yes.
Basically
Organic.
growing it the way that God created it to
Yes,
grow it in
yes.
an organic environment.
Yes, yes.
And of course, that would change the way that farming could be done all over the world.
Yes.
You're currently actually doing this in
Yes,
the
in the
Philippines.
Philippines.
Is that right?
Yes.
And how is how is it being accepted over there, and how is the success of it over there?
In terms of successful, I could, when they use my organic pesticide, very successful from the harvest of 60+% average, now it's 90+%. I reducing 90% of the chemicals. Actually, we could use 100%, but there's a resistance. The suppliers of the chemicals bombarded me with so much negative comments, blocking me. That's the issue there.
Well, we know because of the world we live in that there's huge financial benefits from the chemicals and the pesticides with little regards to the consequences of the human being.
Correct.
We know that, you know, and I know without getting into a whole thing on agriculture, at the root of every plant is something called mycorrhizae.
Mm-hmm.
The mycorrhizae would open up, absorb the nutrients and vitamins in the plant, and when people used to eat an orange or eat a tomato or eat corn, the nutrients and vitamins that were needed in the body to replace the cells that were dying were gained through that.
Of course.
Now, there is no nutrients and vitamins. That's why people take supplements and all the vitamins and
replenish.
stuff that they take
Yes.
to make up for what they don't
Yes.
get in the food.
Yes.
The difference is that 50 years ago, when things were grown organically, 1 out of 1,000 people had cancer.
Yes.
Today, 1 out of 3 over 50 have cancer.
Correct.
So the proof is in the numbers of the amount of people that are dying young due to the chemicals and all of the things that are out there.
Chemicals.
And so what God has done is downpoured into you the ideas or the technology and the methodology to take this and put it into practical application that can be
Precisely.
used. Now it's a matter of, you know, eliminating the greed for people to want to do. But you
Yes.
said something very interesting. You said that the productivity of the crops is greater
Of course.
by using this.
Yes. Because once you evaporate the surface tension of the oil, you eliminate the surface, you will have no phytotoxicity, which is number one. You cannot use oil for agricultural crops, as I was saying. Now, these exposed orbited molecules can penetrate, absorbed by the leaves, the fruits, the pods, which, when you compared with other synthetic chemicals, absorption is limited, but still there's absorption. So, but can you imagine the fruits that we're eating absorbs the chemicals, and then you wash it, you eat it? Oh my God!
So you're eating the chemicals.
No, yes, but I'm not. Before I want clean banana,
Yeah.
but I'm aware of the banana industry in the Philippines. We are the number 2 exporting countries. We have 100,000 hectares based in Mindanao. You know what they do? From planting to nurturing, putting chemicals, injecting chemicals. So
Really?
that if you will compare with natural banana, the natural banana is so many dots, I will eat the so many dots banana rather than so clean. Because it's so clean, too much of chemicals injected.
Wow.
Plus the aerial spraying. Aerial spraying because you cannot spray because huge plantation. I was expecting a $3 million monthly profit at getting one company, but they blocked me.
Well,
I produce 40% savings, natural, but somehow along the way after we confirmed through the trials, because confirming using the chemicals or fungicide for agricultural crops, it's like applying for a drug. It takes 1 to 2 years. Yeah, that's the scenario. So I just got the coffee plantation and some restaurants, Kentucky Fried Chicken, using organic.
So we need to be praying in an agreement for this man, and we need to embrace the things that he's done. And I believe that doors are going to open for you to take this
Hopefully.
to a greater audience and
In
to
God's
be
time.
used more and more different countries as well.
Yes, yes.
The other product with regards to the fuel, what you're saying is you've created something to add to the oil that decreases the emission
Yes.
And-
Pollutants, major pollutants.
and major pollutants and adds to the performance of
Yes.
the automobile.
The principle is simply envelope. I just laminate the oil so that it will protect the inside, the essential molecules, so that, because when you use the engine, you have to produce 400 degrees. It produces 400 degrees centigrade inside the engine. When you do the traffic thing, no air flows coming in, the engine is so stressed, same as the oil. So it produces oxidation. Once the oxidation happens, it produces gunk. That's the problem. The gunk, you will emit pollutants, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, sulfur, nitrogen oxide, because the friction is having difficulties. So that's the issue. I envelope, so the smooth acceleration and friction produce.
Another product that the chemical companies and the oil companies really don't want out there. But
Yes,
let's talk. We have about 10 minutes left, so
Yeah.
I want to talk about the main reason for you coming on.
Yeah.
But I wanted to. You were an award-winning scientist, and I wanted to really set the ground with your credibility, because the next product that you have developed is an absolutely amazing product. It's called Eximus,
Yes.
and Eximus
Two, oxygenated.
is oxygenated. And what you've done is you've taken natural oils
Yes.
and created a process. And here's the thing, and we need to be clear that, that we can't ever say that a product cures anything. We don't say that. But
Yes.
what's happened is that in the Philippines, this product is being used in the hospitals. And we are seeing tremendous benefits for people with cancer, people with diabetes, people
Serious.
with AIDS,
HIV.
HIV, and I know HIV is a huge problem, especially in Africa.
Yes.
Tux, explain to us why this product has a benefit for those things.
Yeah. For our listeners, please, this is the issue, the membrane. Cancer, they have cells. So drugs could not penetrate because this membrane or cells, lipid base. This lipid is so strong. You cannot imagine putting the chemicals, synthetic drugs penetrating. That's the issue. Same with the HIV. They could not penetrate because the virus, they have this envelope virus, lipid virus. And these two envelope virus, they resist oxygen. It is scientifically proven by Dr. Otto Warburg. He won the 1931 Nobel Peace Prize by discovering that all envelope and cancer cells, they hate oxygen. So once the oxygen penetrates, you will have DNA repair. You can control them easily. That is the issue. By using my evaporation, I could diffuse oxygen from the atmosphere, attach to the oil without separation, and then once absorbed in the body, it will absorb in our blood-brain barriers without using bisalts. That's the emulsifier in our system. So this without emulsifier, it will penetrate, and then, my God, once you penetrate the membrane, even stage 4, even stage 3, even cycles, you having oral chemo, natural chemotherapy. Once you add this, they will produce coupling reaction, penetrate in the membrane. And then if you have, the doctor says, you have to place 5 cycles of chemo. One you take without this exposed oxygenated molecules, Eximuse 2 or Salotem, no more 2, no more 3 cycles. Just continue using as a supplement. This is a supplement, but this supplement is with oxygen. This supplement is exposed, orbited, so that could penetrate. The issue is there, penetration. That's why in Japan, they're now more focused on nanotechnology.
Yes.
The principle is to penetrate. Still now, having difficulties. Now, this is better than nanotechnology.
Now explain what's in the product.
The product is oil, all essential oils, unsaturated palm oil, very excellent to produce coupling reaction with the crude coconut oil, olive oil, with garlic, portion of fish oil, combined together and evaporate 12% up to 17%. That's the principle, very basic. But you know, even the best engineering companies in the world, Siemens, in Japan, you see, Mitsubishi, they could not evaporate 17% of the oil in just few minutes without damaging the molecular structures. That is my advantage. I only use conductors that electrify the oil and evaporate in few minutes. When you evaporate the oil with few minutes, you have to have special additives, natural additives, no chemicals, which these additives I'm the one also making, combined. So this technology, it's patented and it will be patented perhaps here in the United States and globally.
Well, the product is considered a dietary supplement.
Yes, it is.
It's all natural oils. And, you know, each one of the oils that are in there have benefits on their own as the oils.
Yes.
But, again, the key to this thing and the key to this product is not the oils itself. It's the combination of the oils and then the process by which he goes through to add to it to evaporate what has to be evaporated. And what's really interesting is he's been able to accomplish something no one else has been able to accomplish.
Correct.
And that's he's been able to do it without damaging or changing the molecular structure of it.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, yes, yes.
There are two main things that it does. Number one is it penetrates the cell wall. And penetrating the cell wall is critical.
Very critical.
And you see, with cancer, it's about cells dying. Is
Yes,
that right, Doc?
Yes, yes.
Cells are dying.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit quickly, because we have about 3 or 4 minutes left,
Yeah.
how this causes the cells to rebuild.
Well, it is natural. I cannot explain how God make it repair, because there's no scientific evidence. I cannot say that there is no scientific, but I believe because of the essential fatty acids or essential elements of these oils, the molecules that came from our Creator, because He created Earth. Of course, the problems is there, but there will always be a solution. The solution is there, natural.
Okay.
It's just so simple. You cannot expect a good scientist to solve the major problems. Only natural. Because it came from God, not from the scientist.
Okay.
It's so simple.
The other area that's, and I know it's a problem, been a problem for several years, and they've said they have this solution, that solution, but nobody's really come up with a solution, is AIDS. Okay, AIDS is simply autoimmune deficiency. What is phenomenal about this product is that it boosts the immune system. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. HIV, they have enveloped, same with cancer cells. Antiretroviral drugs cannot penetrate. The same, lipid. So the same principle, the oxygen with exposed molecules can penetrate. So we can increase 2 things to confirm that you are good. Viral load, we can reduce the viral load in few weeks, not months, few weeks, 3 weeks. We can increase the CD4, the cell counts, because that's base of the immune. If you have lower immune system, you have CD maybe below 400, below 500. But from 500, we have several laboratory analysis. We can do it 900, 1,000, more than the normal immune cells, which is 800. This one we can increase the immune cell from 500 plus counts to 900, which is better than normal of 800. We can reduce the viral load by 90% in just three weeks. So imagine, this, perhaps God gave me this as an instrument to help the people, because by applying this, you will spend only less than $2,000. My God.
Wow. Basically, what God has done is given him, and I believe this for many years. I've always said that for everything that one deals with out there, God created a solution.
Yes.
We know that from years ago, if one had a cut on their arm, they went and got an aloe vera plant, broke it up, put the aloe vera on it, and the arm was healed. And man has been using what God created from the beginning of time for healing. The problem is, the Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. And the purpose of this show, which is called Wisdom and Knowledge, is to bring people on here to share that knowledge so you won't perish. I want to thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you also, Doctor.
You provided just an amazing information.
Yes.
If you want to get a hold of Wilhelm Tux, his email is
tuxoil.com. T for Tango, U for Uniform, K for Kilo, S for Sierra, O for Oman, I for India, L for Lima.com. tuxoil.com.
tuxoil.com. TUKSOIL.com.
Yes, at yahoo.com.
At yahoo.com.
Tuxoil, yeah, at
Tuxoil at yahoo.com. Write that down now. Tuxoil at yahoo.com. And if you've got somebody who has a low immune system, you know somebody out there that is dealing with cancer, this won't cure cancer, but it will certainly improve the quality of life for them if they're struggling with it. And so please send him an email, get the information you need, and we want to thank you for viewing us with us today. We're always wanting to bring you guests that are knowledgeable and guests that are Christians. And we believe that God has blessed this man with a brilliant mind, downpoured into him the things that he needed to know to help deal with the things that we're dealing with today in today's society and today's world. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again on Wisdom and Knowledge. I'm your host, Dr. Terry Warren.